These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with walking stick via Frank 26. The CBI is meeting with the AMF, the Arab Monetary Fund. The topic of this meeting is the swapping of currencies with a number of countries in the Middle East region. Why would you want to swap a toilet paper valued currency? You wouldn't. All right, Mountain Goat article quote, Economist, the dollar exchange rate will not return to its previous era due to international obligations, unquote. Mountain Goat says, we read in this article that the previous era is referring to the old program rate and not pre-1991 era rate. Instead of changing the program rate back to the old program rate, they're going to reinstate it and get off the program rate altogether. Also, we read that the economic growth will meet monetary obligations of the World Bank. They already have a timeline set up for the reinstatement. This IQD will be reinstated. We will be going to the bank soon as they are just waiting for a, quote, stable government. All right, Tiva, an article, quote, the central bank announces that the Iraqi gold reserves have risen to more than 130 tons. The reserves are prepared to protect against local and international changes. Consider what that means when you think about the 100 deputies signing on to follow through on what Al-Kazimi requested of them, lower the exchange rate. Mahar Saleh, financial advisor, said they can maintain the purchasing power that will result from the reinstatement because of their reserves. All right, Mark Z via PDK, it's really positive, all the news coming out of Iraq, and it all centers around the white papers, economic reform, and an increase of the value of their currency. It's exciting times in the Iraqi news, and we know we are close, but we don't know exactly the timing. This is the number one goal for them. It's exciting times for them, and fortunately, exciting times for us. Right, Militiaman article, quote, Association of Banks, more than 14.9 million bank cards in Iraq, unquote. Militiaman says they have close to 50% saturation in the country from the looks of it for cards in the hands of the citizens. They've been telling us about all about the new ATMs lately too, the advanced ATMs that cannot decipher multiple currencies and at varied exchange rates. They can recycle cash as well. This is more education and support that they are geared for internationalism. Pimpy article, quote, Parliamentary Finance denies the possibility of restoring the dollar exchange rate. This is another one of those articles where they start talking about the exchange rate. It is always interesting to me to see how many articles are in the news in regards to the exchange rate. They've already said what they wanted to do, but they're constantly in the news reminding everybody they have no intentions on changing the rate. If that's the case, then why do you keep talking about it? Right, God Lover article, quote, in a quiet fire, a surprising and important statement by the Prime Minister's advisor about changing the dollar exchange, unquote. God Lover says this article makes it even clearer that the EFSL was created for the purpose of citizens' immediate needs and to get them through until the CBI takes action on giving them purchasing power. Another article, the need for a new government and the 22 budget. All right, Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground TV report Firefly had a spokesman on the news giving explanation saying these new ATMs have the capability to take money and do instant calculations on whatever the rates may be set at. For example, only machines can handle floats of currency rates and give back the exact amounts for transactions at the currency rate of transaction, and they are educating all of us. Frank, the Iraqi citizens, this is a question for Frank, the Iraqi citizens are aware. Why do you think the ATMs can instantly do calculations? Frank says because the Iraqi dinar is going to float, brilliant. As it continues to float up in value, the citizens are not losing any money when they withdraw from the ATMs. Wow, that's pretty good, and they're explaining to the citizens what these machines will do. All right. Article quote from Sampson, OPEC, Iraq is the fourth in the world in oil reserves. Quote, Iraq ranked fourth globally in the world's largest proven reserves with 145.019 billion barrels after Venezuela, which came first with 303.468 billion barrels, while Saudi Arabia came second with 267.192 billion barrels, and Iran came third with 208.600 billion barrels. All right, Mark Z via PDK article quote from Iraq: dollar exchange rates are declining in Baghdad and Kurdish region. Why is this important? Normally, in the local markets, they were holding on to US dollars because of the instability of the dinar. What we have seen in the past, when we have been close in anticipating an exchange, is they will start refusing to part with their dinar. People are putting a higher value on dinar now and not wanting to give it up. The people in the streets are anticipating a value change. That is a great sign, in my opinion, that we are close. All right, Tivon article quote: in a quiet fire, a surprising and important statement by the Prime Minister's advisor about changing the dollar exchange, unquote. Tivon says the volatility in the markets is what appears to be the deciding factor as to how long it takes to feel comfortable with reinstating the dinar. But they still allude to going through with it in spite of it, and will adjust on the fly as the rate gradually increases from 1 to 1. So the problem may not necessarily be coming out at equal value, but maintaining it. All right, Bruce via Wiser Now: the new Iraqi Dinar, the NID, was placed on the bank screens for trading last Sunday. The dinar came out at 68 cents, and by 11 a.m. Monday, it had traded up to $5.60. It should be trading much higher than that now and be trading up to numbers that we had talked about, that Dr. Shabibi had talked about, and I'm hearing that we should be at that number or greater. Okay, so we will see how that goes. It's certainly on its way now and is being traded as we speak right now, internationally, globally. It's being traded on what we could call gray screens or back screens for the banks. When the time is right, it will be placed out on the front screens with the other currencies that we are looking to exchange.